Hello, this is Billy Joe Saunders, WBO middleweight champion of the world. Subscribe to Sporting Icons to stay in touch with all the top news. God bless you all.
Okay, so rather than me do two videos, I'm just going to merge them into one, which is Daniel Dubois. He gave his thoughts on the Billy Joe Saunders Saunders Alvarez fight this past weekend, and of course responds to what a lot of people are talking about, where Billy Joe Saunders said that Daniel Dubois is a quitter when he took a knee against Joe Joyce. Billy Joe Saunders has also made a statement regarding his loss to Saunders Alvarez and of course the extent of his injuries. So we're going to start off with Daniel Dubois, and this is what he had to say. I thought Billy fought very well. Very, very well. He got an injury. It is what it is. I wanted him to win, and I thought he looked like he could do that. All this quitter stuff talk, I don't know about any of that. It's stupid. Billy fought very well until that point and couldn't continue. It is what it is. They made the right decision. Mark knows he's a fighter. I'm sure he did the right thing. I'm not going to rub it in for Billy. He'll be going through it right now with the eye injury. Maybe he'll regret what he said about me. Maybe this might teach him something. It could be a life lesson. So that is Daniel Dubois' statement. And the statement from Billy Joe Saunders reads like this. Thanks everyone for the messages. Broken eye socket and broken cheekbone in 3 places. Operation yesterday, all went well. You win some, you lose some. Didn't feel out of my league, but got caught with a good shot and couldn't see. And Ben got the corner to pull it. Thank you all who watched. I'll be back. God bless you all. Billy Joe Saunders' statement. So we're going to start off with Billy Joe Saunders, a broken eye socket and a broken cheekbone in 3 places. I mean, half of his face must have been hanging off. That must have been absolutely agonising. So again, Mark Tibbs, as I said before, absolutely correct to pull the fight. Now, I don't know if he hadn't pulled the fight, would Billy Joe have got up off his stool? I don't know about that, okay? That's all speculation. But Mark Tibbs did the right thing by pulling the fight. Because had Billy Joe Saunders had have gone out there for round number 9, what do you think would have happened? And anybody wants to call him a quitter, listen, if you're calling him a quitter because he called down Dubois a quitter, okay, that's one thing. But to just call him a quitter, for what? Why should he go out there and get his face caved in even more? Why should he do that? Why should any fighter do that? They shouldn't do that, right? You wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. No fighter should do that. They really shouldn't. Because at the end of the day, the money that you get paid for any particular fight, you get paid the same if you knock out your opponent or get knocked out in round number 1, or if you knock out your opponent or get knocked out in round number 12 or win on points or lose on points. You get paid the same amount of money, okay? You don't get paid per round or per minute and per second of every fight that you take. No, it's the same thing. Why go out there when there's no way that Billy Joe Saunders was going to go from round number 9 to round number 12 and get the win anyway? He wouldn't have even survived to round number 12. So I absolutely agree with that. And that does sound a nasty, nasty injury. Is that something he can come back from? He says surgery went well. I mean, I don't know. Is his cheek and his eye socket going to be okay? I mean, I'll be more concerned about the cheek there, but is he going to have, or does he have some kind of metal plate in there now? I mean, could they actually repair the bone? Is it just a little bit cracked and they've repaired it and it should make a full recovery? We don't know. Maybe his career is now going to be over. Now, as far as Daniel Dubois, I mean, we can start off with saying how he's not going to rub it in on Billy Joe Saunders, because Billy Joe Saunders, he did say that, he could never quit the way that Daniel Dubois done. But again, I think a lot of people who are going in on Billy Joe Saunders for that particular comment over Daniel Dubois, I don't think they've actually seen the full statement from Billy Joe Saunders. Because in the very beginning of his statement where he said that Daniel Dubois quit, he did actually say in the beginning of that statement, he says that I'd never knock any fighter whose injury is legitimate, as in, or I'm ad-libbing a little bit, I forget the exact words, but at that point, this was right after the Daniel Dubois-Joe Joyce fight, so he didn't know, nobody knew the extent of the injury of Daniel Dubois, he didn't know. So had he have known, would he have still called Daniel Dubois a quitter? You would have to say no, wouldn't you? But there again, maybe he would have done, I don't know. Maybe he would have done. But again, even if he had have done, and it doesn't matter what kind of context that he said it in, it's all well saying things about other people until it happens to you. Until it happens to you, you don't know what it feels like. You don't know what it is that Daniel Dubois was going through or Kell Brook and that was going through. And when it happens to you, that's when you make the decision to go, actually, you know what? Yeah, they were right to take a knee. They were right to quit. Absolutely correct. It's one thing to have the Warriors code until it happens to you, isn't it? And that's the truth of it. And again, with Dubois, he's saying that he doesn't believe that Billy Joe Saunders quit, as what he says. I don't know about any of that. Well, quit, not quit. However, at the end of the day, he weren't going to win. All he was going to do, had he went out there, was get hurt even more. And Billy Joe was doing well up to that point. I was scoring the fight. I did have it 5-3 in favour of Canelo, but as I said before, 2 of those rounds were so close, they could have went either way, in my opinion. So if anybody did actually have Billy Joe Saunders winning, I ain't going to argue with you. Likewise, I'm not going to argue with you if you had Canelo up by another round or 2. That fight was, well, a couple of those rounds were that close, really could have went either way. They really could have done. But either way, doesn't really matter how the fight was going. None of that really matters. What really matters in reality is that Billy Joe Saunders makes a full recovery. Hopefully his eye is going to be okay. Hopefully his eye socket and his cheekbone makes a full recovery and he can get back in the ring. But is he going to be the same fighter again? Is he going to be worried that just even a jab might set it off? You don't know, do you? You really don't know. This could well be career over for Billy Joe Saunders. Anyway, I think that Dubois has said the right thing there. He could have went in on Billy Joe Saunders, but there again, with Billy Joe Saunders and Dubois now being part of the same training stable under Mark Tibbs, it probably would have caused a bit more friction, wouldn't it? But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens going forward if Billy Joe Saunders even makes a full recovery. Again, we don't know what kind of recovery Dubois is going to have. Maybe Dubois, he's going to be nervous of getting hit. We don't know. Maybe Dubois maybe his career is pretty much over. I wouldn't have thought so. I think Dubois is a pretty strong-minded person, and he'll feel quite confident after a couple of spars to go, yeah, actually my eye socket's okay. Let's get back to where we were. Hopefully, anyway. Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.